And good evening, YouTube community, guys and girls. It's your boy back in the building for a second time today. Lex Anderson, Situation Corner, you've entered the Sports Opinion Log. And here we are, celebrating with the Sixers. Meek Mill has been freed from prison. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It is truly a glorious day. But with all due respect, I'm going to do a little bit of the law, Lex Anderson world, and just talk about what it really is. Thankfully, it was the white man who set Meek Mill free. For all the power, for all the money that Jay-Z has, as he was going on talk show to talk show with David Letterman, which was pretty whack, honestly, on Netflix. 2 thumbs down, 1.5 stars. But I'll get into that in a later episode. It was Robert Kraft, the white, prestigious, Super Bowl winning owner, who went down to visit Meek Mill in prison and say that he's talented, he's a young man, and something has to be done in our justice system to prevent things like this from happening. Because as Jay-Z's making the rounds saying how the judge won't even give Meek Mill bond to post, which in itself was heinous and criminal, but that's how the justice system works. Unfortunately, it doesn't work in favor for people of color, as we now notice by videos captured on phone of officers demeaning, beating, brutalizing, and killing our people. So, luckily Meek Mill is who he is and had a very prominent white man come see him, reach out to him, and after 5 months, he's finally free and was immediately shuttled to the 76ers game. Shout out to the 76ers, Ben Simmons. They got the job done. Your boy the Prophet called it. Tonight would be the night that Dwayne Wade's old ass was sent back home packing, where hopefully he will contemplate retirement. Final score 104-91. Hassan Whiteside, the much valued, talented guy, 0 for 4 for 2 points. The Sixers again advance to the second round for the first time since 2012. So a popping of the collar on that for the Sixers. We're in a throwback, of course, Julius Erving, and it is authentic. Mitchell and Ness. I see a lot of guys out there with their throwback jerseys. Guess what? If yours says Adidas, you are wearing a swingman jersey, which is something that children should wear. But over here in the Sports Opinion Log, nothing but the real deal stuff touches my skin. And speaking of touching, well, once again, the Celtics touched up the Bucks, who seemingly can't win a game on the road. Final score 92-87. And Greek Freak, remember the 2 week into the season, NBA MVP, not getting the job done. All I have is the score. We're not going to get into the box stats because I hate the Celtics anyway. I put my money on the Young Bucks, not literally, thankfully, and they're pretty much failing. But the reason why I also made this video is because Russell Westbrook, I've continually bashed him, his ineptitude. He's only made 1 shot in the fourth quarter the last 3 games versus the Utah Jazz. There was talk about him being suspended for stepping on the court when it looked like there was going to be a little skirmish. And a lot of it got me thinking about the physical play of the NBA in the playoffs. And, I tire of seeing these big, the world's best athletes, they cry over fouls, they cry for fouls, they stop and don't play defense because they want to argue with the ref going back up the court about a foul that wasn't, coulda, shoulda, woulda been called, but wasn't. And the referees usually do try to make it up to these guys on the back end. There's reports about how the referees are judged, how they're picked before a game, how they're judged after the game, the grading reports and all this stuff, and all this pressure is mounting on the refs. You got to hear from the players, the coaches, the media, the fans. It's crazy. So I decided to flip through the NBA guideline books and see, what's going on. Because, there was the foul about Bradley Beal people were complaining about, which was true. At some point, you do have to let the guys play, but the tone should be set early. Not that you call ticky-tack fouls early on, and then you want to hold the whistle as it gets physical in the closing minutes of a potentially close playoff game. The tone has to be set early. And I've done research, in the past that shows that when it comes to home court advantage, the NBA is the only team between Major League Baseball and the NFL that you really truly do get home court advantage. Think about it. Think with your minds for just a minute. Stop living off the highlights and just think. With replay in Major League Baseball now, the umpires cannot sway the effect of a game. In the NFL, the referees can't affect the sway of the game. Well, of course, with the catch rule, the referees' decision making with the instant replay and them taking anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes to determine if it was a catch, it's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, when you have fumbles and the knee is on the ground, therefore it's not a fumble, you have all this stuff and all this instant replay that just really ruins the flow of the game. So, after checking it out, especially these over-the-top fouls, so when you have big men battling for position, like, give me a break, aren't you bound to be over the top as you're reaching because you're tall? So here is what I found on the NBA's website. A flagrant foul is a violent player contact that the official believes is not a legitimate attempt to directly play the ball within the rules. A flagrant 1 foul as unnecessary contact, and 2 such penalties lead to ejection of the player. It is contact that is both unnecessary and excessive and requires ejection. That would be your flagrant 2 foul. A technical foul, which the referees seem to love to give, when they make that T motion and go like that. A technical foul is a foul unrelated to physical contact during gameplay. The foul may be called on a player in the game, another player, coach, or against the team in general. Okay, so what denotes a technical foul? Let's see. Unsportsmanlike conduct outside the scope of the game, such as taunting, profanity, or conduct toward an official. Requesting a timeout when the team has already used their last allotted timeout. If you would like to see that, just YouTube Chris Webber timeout. That's all you need to do. Okay, let's see. An official may assess a technical foul without prior warning at any time. That's key. A technical foul may be assessed to any player on the court or anyone seated on the bench for conduct which, in the opinion of an official, is detrimental to the game. Wow. Okay, exception, fighting fouls and or taunting with physical contact. All right. A technical foul shall be assessed for unsportsmanlike tactics such as disrespectfully addressing an official, physically contacting an official, overt actions indicating resentment to a call, use of profanity, a coach stepping on the court without permission of an official, a deliberately thrown elbow, or any attempted physical act with no contact involved. And of course, cursing or blaspheming an official shall not be considered the only cause for imposing technical fouls. Running tirades, continuous criticism, or griping may be sufficient cause to assess a technical to a player. Excessive misconduct will result in ejection from the game. Okay, now here's my other favorite part. The offensive foul. That drives all of us crazy, does it not? Okay, a dribbler shall not charge into an opponent who has established a legal guarding position, or attempt to dribble between 2 opponents, or attempt to dribble between an opponent and a boundary where sufficient space is not available for illegal contact to be avoided. Gotta love that wordplay. The dribbler must be in contact of his body at all times. If illegal contact occurs, the responsibility is on the dribbler. The offender is assessed an offensive foul. Okay. Exception. If a dribbler has sufficient space to have his head and shoulders in advance of his defender, the responsibility for illegal contact is on the defender. If a dribbler has established a straight line path, a defender may not crowd him out of that path. Wow, that is pretty amazing. How about that? And what else do I have here? Yep, that's pretty much it. So now that we have the knowledge, maybe now we can relax and enjoy the games a little bit more. And speaking of games, how about them Yankees, folks? And Yankee Universe, it is here. I am here. Final score: Yankees stomp out the Minnesota Twins 8-3. We win our fourth straight as Sir Didi, Aaron Judge, and Gary Sanchez, aka the Kraken, combined to go 8 for 13, 5 runs, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, and it's just a beautiful day. Tip of the cap and salutes to the Yankee Universe. We're just getting the job done as always. We have outscored our opponents 36-6 over the last 4 games, and we have beaten the Twins 17 out of the last 22 meetings. How about that? And how about our pitching staff, which I've had question marks over, which is only rightfully so to be concerned about. But the last 4 games, 25 2/3 inning pitched. How are we doing? 1.05 ERA, 1.38 batting average, 20 Ks and only 12 hits. You know what? That's a damn good thing. But the big test will come in May, where we have a big time road trip ahead of us. I believe that will be like Kansas City. I believe the Nationals are coming here for Interleague, and I love my Interleague, so I got to catch an Interleague game real soon. Desi Robin, you ready? We got to catch an Interleague game.
Yeah, sure, whenever you want.
Okay, so, I'm think it's going to be like Kansas City, Astros, somewhere Oakland will be in the mix, and the Angels. So I can't wait to see how things play out for the Yankees. But right now we are coasting. The bats are smoking hot. Gary Sanchez, the Kraken, dead center field, 436 feet. Exit velocity, 117, 119? It's just insane. So, I'm just like so happy right now. I'm just beaming because now is a good time. I just can't wait for it to get a little bit warmer so I can catch some more gosh darn games. But speaking of catching, you can catch future episodes of the Sports Opinion Log by staying in the know right here, by doing the right thing and committing. Press that subscribe button right there to your right. Come back, drop a thumbs up. Type in a comment on my Facebook sports group at the Sports Opinion Log. And you can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Fifth Avenue, #TST. I'll catch you guys and girls on the other side. And please don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, guys and girls, Warriors and Spurs are playing. I'll catch y'all later. Time to do what I do best. Pop my collar, because I'm signing out to finish this game. Later.